Welcome. I made two developments that I think are worthy of a quick tutorial update. I'm going to just link this video in the old description of the other tutorial. So, a lot of times when doing this specific shield turn, fire keys is distracting. A lot of times when doing the shield turn, you're going to get certain angles like this one, where I said you don't want this angle, it's really bad. This sight, when the red ruby sight is, it's clearly visible on the hookshot tower. It's on the furthest right, and it's to the left of the corner, basically. Versus, midway on the corner, and then just to the right, you can't see it until you aim up, till around this part of it, the hookshot tower, where it sticks out. Let's say you get this one. Alright. So in this case, you can fix this by just continuing to hold target, because if you release target and target it later, you're going to target the beammost. You're going to have to do some things to fix that are a little slow, so you want to try to stay away from those if you can. Now, you just do a vertical slash like I did, and then you aim up like usual, except we're a little closer to the hookshot tower, so when you get the right spot to aim at, you're gonna just barely see the red ruby sight. This is the spot, it's the highest point where the control stick will rest, largely because negative 19 isn't read as an input, and we're already on negative 18, so that's why it feels like it rests. But anyways, you want negative 18, or if you look at the visual cue that I like to use, it's a little janky, but I'll show it what I usually used to go for when I actually focus on this trick anyways. Alright, so it's a lot easier to go from above and go down sometimes, and then you can see up there where the black square lines up with the green circle on the HUD for the sword. It's a little janky since it doesn't line up with where the hilt meets the green circle, so I don't know if I like it as much for this, but it is what it is. And I'm slightly moving to the right, so I'm gonna reset this real quick. Lovely. Okay, so yeah, it's very repeatable until you do a new load. That's why you want to have a good backup. So here we go. The rest of the setup is the same, but I will go over it for the sake of clarity. I'm gonna go this way. He's about to look this way. Another quick update, actually. Good way to line this up is to just keep nudging to the left from the right till the camera snaps over. That's a good cue. You don't have to mess with link split at all. This will usually work. Alright, at this point, just input one frame of a back flip, and then let the control stick go back to neutral. This should be buffered, probably. You back here. Another quick note here, so you can actually input hookshot pretty early. Basically the first frame he lands, I think it's the first frame that he puts his arms down, you can input it. Anyways, whatever frame you want to do it on, hold down and hookshot. Wait till the control the hookshot is, the red ruby sight is right here. The first frame where it's clearly within the brown or black part, whatever you want to call that. It's also the first frame where the hookshot clicks and you're actually allowed to fire it. At this point, you're able to just hold right, basically. And it is a little shorter in the hop, so you want to hold right as soon as you want, as soon as you can, just to make sure you make it. But since you're not as airborne, you can go swap to land movement. It's a little faster than aerial movement, I think, at least in that form. So it has a really small benefit, but it's at the cost of doing a slash, so is what it is. So that leaves the full-on backup. Let's say you just completely get wiped out. None of these are working. This one would work, but let's say the shield turn is leaving you with something that goes something like this, or something a little further left, which I just haven't experimented with. And it is possible to get those. It's just, it all depends on, I have no idea what it depends on actually, but something that happens between spawning the area and getting to this corner, I guess, affects it. So I'm sure the camera has weird things, probably like certain SRM things in bomb in a observatory. So in cases like this, you have to do the slow method. So just shield turn down left. Let's say it's a case that you are too far to the right or too far to the left. Just enter into this mode, and maybe don't go up and down just to make sure, unless you have to for this one. And then you notice that it's too far to the right. Just cancel out. You're going to be targeting an app case actually, so let's say it's too far to the right. Just cancel the target and get in hookshot mode. At this point, you're going to be somewhere over here probably. And what I want you to do is just go to the left slowly until you can see the red ruby sight. Basically what we're doing is recreating this case where your red ruby sight is halfway on the hookshot tower and halfway off. What you want to do is aim down, target, hold hookshot, and do the same as the rest for that setup where you aim right here. The first frame, or the first hookshot angle above the hookshot tower that you can't see the hookshot frame. Again, it's -18. It's a nice cushy spot because -19 can't be accessed on a WVC GameCube controller, or GameCube controller on WVC, I guess. And just like before, start out very far right, move to the left, just target walk till the camera shifts, 1 frame of backflip, just like all the other setups, down and hookshot until this frame, hold right. You don't have to hold right directly on that frame, it's just the earlier the better. It doesn't matter what frame you do it on, so long as you make it up when you get up here. It's one of those things where once you release the hookshot, the only thing that you could really do to affect anything of consequence is if you were to press the A button or the hookshot button and you cancel the hookshot. Otherwise, I think you're free, except maybe don't push the C buttons. Yeah, don't push the C buttons. But control stick is really on limits. That's all I got for you. Bye-bye.